Hey everybody, what's up? It's Tipping the Scales. I'm your girl, Lachey Dawson.
Hey guys, I'm Tania. Welcome back.
Or welcome for the first time.
Well, hopefully,
right?
you're part of the tippers. You're a tipper and you're part of the Tipping the Scales family. But if not, we
Somebody could have
welcome
sent
you
this
with
to
open
you.
arms.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this could be your first episode because we about to hit some heat right now. We about to talk about fire. So, you know.
But welcome if it is. Welcome to the party train. We like to have fun on Tipping the Scale. So we hope that you have some fun and unwind a little bit.
You know?
Or sip your tea. Sometimes we like to sip our tea. I have water right now. I have zero tea.
I have water too. I have water with chlorophyll. Shout out to Bare Root Remedy.
Oh, that looks good.
Black owned, women owned, Connor Morgan.
Oh, we gotta bring her. We gotta bring her on.
Let's bring her on.
That's important. Yeah. Let's bring. What's the name of it again? Give her a shout.
Her name is Connor, and her brand is Bare Root Remedy, and she has all
Root Remedy.
Yeah, she has all the health stuff for your girlies, for everybody, but she's obviously a woman, so lots of women.
Yeah, I need that and I want that. That's
And her body is sick. Like when I say sick, I mean like masterpiece.
Oh, nice. Go girl. see what happens when you got that body when you eat right and you eat clean. Like that's probably the better way to say it, that you eat clean and you move that body, then that body looks right for you.
Yeah. Isn't it sad that I know that and I still don't do it sometimes?
It's like a struggle with us all. It's like a tug of war. Like you want to do the right thing and then life sometimes get in the way and then you need to kind of hit the reset button and get yourself together. But you can't. Yeah. Oh. But it's like that's why people moved away from the terminology like I'm going to die. It's like it's a lifestyle because it's something you want to do for the rest of your life. Like you got to lock in and just be committed to it. And then you're going to have cheat days, but you should have more good days and you should have bad days. So it's like the way that you have to think about it. So you can remain consistent.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And
that's the goal.
That's the goal. And we'll leave it there. That's the goal.
Fine. Well, speaking of goals and consistency, sometimes, honestly, sometimes procrastination gets in the way of our goals, and procrastination gets in the way of us remaining consistent with things that we need to do in our lives. So I think it'd be interesting to spend a little bit of time talking about procrastination, because when we procrastinate, usually bad things happen and things that could potentially be preventable get in the way of our overall success in all areas of our lives. So I don't know, do you procrastinate at all? Do you happen to be one of those procrastinators like your girl T over here?
Unfortunately, I am a procrastinator.
I know.
I'm I would call myself a very good procrastinator, which is kind of toxic. Okay. Like
an oxymoron. I'm a good procrastinator. Explain to me what makes you a good procrastinator versus just a regular procrastinator. Like what makes you a good one?
I would say I'm a I mean, you know, when you've been procrastinating so long, you just kind of figure out how to operate within the procrastination. Like it's sometimes I almost prefer to wait to the last minute so that I can sit down and be focused, because I'm the type of person who will text, who will email, who will go on Instagram, respond to somebody, send it. Like I am like that type of person. Like I'll move from one thing, but it's not in chronological order. But I have all these things circulating in my head. And I'm like, oh, I'll get back to that, thinking that I will get back to it. And I won't get back to it until like it's the last hour, the last minute.
So you get it done, but you just sometimes are right at the last minute. Is
I
that
would say
what I hear you say?
most of the time, but there are catastrophic moments where it's like tears, breaking down, disappointed in myself.
Oh no, oh no.
And I would say the last one was my apartment. You have to give 60 days notice, not 30 days, 60 days. And if you don't give 60 days, you
You better
have
pay it
to
out. Yeah.
pay a prorated amount,
Oh,
but you have
that's
to
annoying.
pay like double because it's month to month.
Yeah. So
So
they like
they,
tell me 2 months in advance before you roll out. So if
yes.
you want to leave in June, you need to put your notice in by April 1st.
And so another thing is sometimes I'm so literal. So I was waiting until the 60-day window. I could have let them know way before then. I knew
Oh,
6
yeah.
months prior.
Right. They're just saying at the latest.
So I was so distraught and I was literally beating myself up because
no.
I think I was at like 40 something days.
Yeah.
Oh, I was crying. I was sick. That's a waste of money. It's not necessary. It's just unnecessary. So procrastination, I am a good and toxic procrastinator. If that's even a thing.
Yeah. I honestly think many of us procrastinate, except I know my son doesn't. He's like on time. This guy is like, he's the opposite of me, which is I love. Like, he plans and he times everything, and he doesn't believe in procrastination because
Wow.
just built different. And
Mikhail,
shout
like,
out to Mikhail because it's annoying.
but
He literally,
I can tell.
he don't mess around. And I'm like legit get on his nerves because I am the one who like, he doesn't want to make sure like I'm not making him late and that like, but I'm the one like, I know I am. And I was like, even this morning for breakfast, he's like, what do you want? And he literally, I was like, I don't know. Like, what's me? Of course, I'm multitasking because I'm on it. I have a meeting. And I said, he literally texted me, you have 3 minutes. Like, he has to eat at a certain time. Everything is timed. Like, you have 3 minutes to place your order. I'm like,
oh
what?
my God.
That's so much pressure. I can't even make up my mind. I was looking for an omelet. I couldn't find it. So I just opted, like, just give me some eggs. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I honestly wanted an omelet, but because I had the pressure of Mikhail, like, you have 3 minutes. I'm like, dude, you're
And
crazy.
he's like, I told you. And you're waiting to the last warning. Now you're at 3 minutes and now you're messed up.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. You know, I just think about like one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this because, you know, I remember I heard this on my Peloton app. Shout out to Jess Sims. I love her. I take all of her strength classes and her boot camp classes on a Peloton app.
Mm-hmm.
And I had an opportunity to take one of her live classes too, like a live class with her at the Peloton studio. And Mikhail, like, remember he did like, it was like a co-trainer with her.
I do.
Super cute.
Yeah.
But she said this and it resonated with me. She always says, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Everything. I love
right?
that. Yes.
I love that.
Saying.
But it's very much true. So I say that to preface is you are procrastinating in one area of your life, you are most likely procrastinating in everything you do because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And what happens is when you procrastinate, you are just not going to be as successful if you would have had planned it, if you had taken your time, if you had done it right? Like, for example, like yesterday at work, we had a town hall and I had my speaking points, but I was like super busy. We prepped an hour before. I was like fumbling over my words. I was like mad at myself during my town hall because I did not feel like I was articulate, and I am. And that like annoyed me. But because I didn't have a lot of preparation and I procrastinated, like literally went over my speaking points like right before we went live. So that's just like an example. And I know other people can see it with health. And I really want to pause and spend a little bit of time there because, of course, we get older and Shay and I talked, we had another episode and you guys better be checking out our content. So please make sure wherever you get your podcasts, that you go back to our content library and check out some good stuff that we were talking about, like just the aging process and how we feel with our bodies. But it's a fact that as we age, like sometimes it brings about like health concerns, right?
Mm.
And when we procrastinate, things get exacerbated. And some things, not most, I don't feel comfortable saying most, some things can be preventable, right? If you handle it or if you be proactive, like, and get your physical and get things done so that So, we gotta do better.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty. And I'm guilty for sure. But going back to my toxic point about procrastination, I know that you did a good job, and I know that you're probably the only one that could tell, which is the toxic side of it, meaning sometimes your not so best is the best for some people, but you know that you're level up. You're right. So you're mad at yourself.
And
I do it all the time where I'm like, oh my God, I'm terrible.
It like haunts me because I could not sleep. I thought about it all night. Like I thought about it all day.
Yep.
The town hall was like yesterday, at 11 a.m. I thought about it all night.
And people probably moving on with their lives.
The town hall's over. It's an hour.
And you're just like,
and I'm, I thought about it all night. I was like, I'm so upset. I thought about it this morning and, I'm still thinking about it. We're talking about it today. So I can't let it go, but that's just how I'm wired. So because I know though, but here's the thing.
I got a thought.
Because I know that I'm wired that way, that's why I have to remind myself about like hitting the pause button on not procrastinating, because if I'm wired that way, I have to feed how I'm wired. Like I have to do things in the way that I know that benefits me so that I'm not adding unnecessary stress. But what's your thought?
My thought is that I challenge you and we need to get an assistant, someone to help us with all the things that we're dealing with. Because
we got a lot going on.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's wearing a lot of hats. It's being like physically present in other places. Yes, we need somebody who can curate the calendar, somebody who can say, hey, you need to be here doing this. You have this speaking engagement on this day. Mikhail's game overlaps with your town hall right now. So you need to be thinking and prioritizing, like, you need somebody with you. Like, we need to hunker down and invest in that.
I think that's fair. It's helpful.
I know that. I've known that. I've known that. Now, I will say, if maybe tippers have some suggestions on how to find an EA.
I have one at work,
or
but it's not the same. Like it's like someone to manage all that I have going on.
Someone to manage someone who knows you too. I know you're going to be using the bathroom, blah, 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 right before you go to this thing. I know you're going to zip or want to change another outfit. So I scheduled time for you to do those things. And you're going to be like, you thought about me?
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's so true. And very much necessary. So, I mean, I think it brings up the point that I can help you. We can find one. We just need to commit to. Yeah.
So we need to do it. All right, cool.
But it brings up a point that when because essentially what you're saying is that when this is something that you're going to continue, it's going to continue to be problematic for you, then get help and do something about it, so that that you have so many competing priorities and you have to get things done. Those things are not going to go away. So tomorrow you're going to have other things and you're going to constantly have those competing priorities. It feels like you're kind of like being pulled in all these different directions. Like it's going to happen. So what can you do to help get you more organized, right? So your suggestion is, okay, like if you have the means to do it and you know that you are balancing a lot, you have a lot of balls up in the air, then perhaps having an assistant can help you maintain and keep you on track. So that way you don't have to, or perhaps that would help you with not procrastinating as much. It's still like bad habits, right? It's like,
also
bad habits.
But I'm going to get there on that. And I would say the next part is delegation. I sometimes struggle with delegation, although I know I need to
Yeah.
delegate. I am in a partnership. It's one, me, and
Mhm.
two, him. Doing a better job delegating things, but there also is this like internal control thing that I have. It's like I'm scared to delegate for it not to be done properly, and then I have to go back in and do it. And that's not even a knock
Yeah.
on anyone. That's just more like when you like things done a certain way. So those are things again, like delegation
Um,
is what will help. Like, hey, this is what we're doing on Sunday. Can you please
yeah.
do this,
Yeah.
this, and this? Like, even at work, I could do better at delegating, but again, I have that fear of like, if it doesn't get done, I'm the one who has to deal with the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, or do the double work or whatever the case may be. But I think
Yeah.
delegating is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
And I think leaning into that more would definitely help with a lot of things that
Yeah. So for
I
those of you
procrastinate with. So
who like to keep things close to the vest, loosen it up. Loosen up your grip. I don't have any issues with delegating. Any of my 7 or 8 direct reports will be like, yeah, mama's good there. She has no problems with that. No problem. But there are folks who do that have an issue with delegating. I have a few, when I think about a few folks that I've worked with, and it does slow them down because they, and sometimes fear, not delegating is a lack of, one, you can be just a straight up micromanager. And that is a reason why you don't like to delegate, or there's a lack of trust, right? So you have to ask yourself, oftentimes when you don't delegate, there's a lack of trust. So where's that trust? Where's the distrust coming from? Is it because you don't feel like the people that you can delegate to are competent to get it done? Is it because you only feel comfortable doing it yourself? So I guess you have to first ask yourself, like, do I have the right people to delegate to, right? Because if you don't, then why even delegate if you don't think, if you know, not think, if you know they can't do it? Because if it's not been proven, then you got to give people the opportunity, right? So, so if you haven't done it before, delegate, because people do need the opportunity to fail, like they just do. You don't know until they fail. So, can you give them the appropriate tools to help them delegate? And if not, then you just got to find somebody else to be able to get the job done, because you cannot do it all. I'll say that again.
Yeah.
You cannot do it all. Like, I know many of us think we are superhuman and we have an S on our chest. We have a cape. We can fly and we can do all things. And we can certainly do all things, but that's why there's that 4-letter word. Yeah, 4-letter word.
She really just counted.
That's why there's that 4-letter word called help. Because it's a reason that folks are there to kind of help lift some of the weight off of us so we can free up and do things that we need to do. But I think I would say too, like, why do we procrastinate? Like, if you had to ask yourself, like, Shay, let's go back to that example that you gave about your apartment, like letting the folks know that, hey, I'm out. Why? Why did you procrastinate? Why didn't you, just a moment that you knew that you were leaving, why didn't that prompt a trigger for you to reach out to be like, hey guys, I'm out of here. I just want to let you know. Like, why do you think you procrastinate?
Well, the first thing that comes to my head is I thought I had more time. And I think I always think I have more time. Like, even when it's a year out, I'm like, oh, it's a year away. When a year is actually not a lot of time. When planning a wedding, for instance, like deadline, people need to know 4 months in advance, 6 months in advance, a year in advance. Like, they need to know, got to get venues locked in. So like, I always think I have more time, and the cycle continues. Like, I know I don't have more time, but then I'll be like, oh, it's 2 months from now. Or, oh, that's like not until 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that is and why, but I always think I have more
and
time.
time runs out.
That makes
like,
sense.
It's like, me too. I do the same thing. Like, I wait. And it's like, I gotta stop. We collectively, as a Tip and the Scales family, like, we have to stop telling ourselves that there's more time. Like, just do it.
Yeah.
Just get it done. Because you know that it needs to, that you need to make it happen. So what is that saying? Why put off to tomorrow what you can do today? Is that the saying? Basically, it's like, just do it.
That
like,
sounds
you
right.
know that you have something that you need to accomplish. Like, and let's say I got 2 weeks. Like, if you have the time, do it when you know you have to do it. Doesn't it feel much better when things get done ahead of time? How good do you feel when you get things done?
I would also say, and I would also say, I don't procrastinate on everything. Now, let me make that clear. I procrastinate on the things that are serious, that are scary, that I may not be good at, that I may not have a passion for. But the things I want to do, I'm on it and I'm killing it, and it's like breathing. So maybe I need, and I'm just speaking for myself, I need to eliminate things that I don't love to do. And
Like
I
you
either
said.
can do that through delegation. I can do that through hiring someone to help me take the things that I just don't want to do, so I can focus on the things that I do want to do, so that my procrastination is not consistent. And I'm saying that out loud because I know these are things that I know about myself already. And it's about time I do them. And I'm doing some of them, but it's about time I actually like take charge. So I'm so glad you like thought about this topic.
It is real.
This is like real. Like, this is the time in my life where I don't have time. Like, I keep thinking I have more time. I'm about to be 40.
Whoa,
like,
40.
What? And not even that it's old. It's just when you have things that you're trying to get done. By
like certain
ages,
milestones,
right? And it's about your story that
you
you're trying to tell.
And we talk about being very much goal oriented. So, we want to be able to check the box on different things.
I want to do certain things by the time I'm 40. I want to have a certain amount of money by the time I'm 40. Like, like,
trying to level up, though.
Do my,
you know
what I'm saying?
You're trying to level up. I'm seeing you.
I'm trying to get on T's level. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get on T's level.
But you know what? You are right. And, it's just something I think about. And, going back to the health thing, because I was talking to a team member that had worked at one of our retail stores. And he was saying that, talking about a health condition. And he was saying that ignoring the pain, right? Like, and ignoring it. And then by the time that
resonates,
the team member decided to do something about it, it was like really, really bad and caused some significant health issues. And that's the thing that we have to stop ignoring, right? Like, so, when we talk about like those annual physicals for women, we have like mammograms and things like that. Like, don't put those things off, like, I know like colonoscopies, like that's something that sometimes we put off. Get those done because, those things can be very much preventable. They can find those little polyps and take them right out, opposed to it turning into cancer. Right. So like, we gotta like really not procrastinate, like listen to your body. If your body's telling you something, our bodies, where it's like, I feel like God has created, amazing. We're like amazing creatures, and your body tells you when something is wrong. Same thing with me. Like, I was having these stomach issues and I went to the doctor. So let me just go get checked out, make sure there's anything blocked. And they did a CAT scan. They found something else. Like, so now I have to get small surgery on Monday. It's laparoscopic. So thank God. But, those of you who know, Lord, keep me in prayer. But could you think about like, and it was an incidental fight, because you imagine if I would have ignored that and never went, and here while something would have found like that's early and I'm good, could have been very much a total different scenario. So we cannot procrastinate, folks. And I'm the worst at it. Like, I'll wait the last minute to make an appointment. Like, we have to do better. Shay's like, for those of you who check us out on YouTube, Shay did like a yes. Yeah, me too. It was like a little hand up, because many of us do this. It's like we gotta, when we think about prioritization, we have to prioritize our health. Like, that's one thing that we cannot procrastinate. We have to listen to our bodies, be proactive, get your appointments done, take a very much preventative approach to your health, so that those things that you have potentially doesn't exacerbate to something worse. Like, we gotta do it. We must do it.
Yeah. Okay.
What other things that you shouldn't procrastinate? I think we talked a little bit about this before. It's like in relationships. It's funny because I was talking to someone the other day, and they were saying how they lost the love of their life. And the first thing I said, well, did that person even know that? And did you treat that person the way that you were describing that person? And I honestly think he believed that he did. And I'm like, I don't know if that other person would felt like was on the receiving end of that. You know what I mean? So it's just, things that are important to us, you got to put a lot of effort into it. But when you procrastinate and you kind of take that laissez-faire approach, then things suffer.
They think they have more time. That's why.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of people have that saying, there's more time.
Yeah.
I'll have more time. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it when I get back. I'll see them when I come back. And, they're going to be there. So it's like, it's okay. Like, I don't have to tell them like I love them, or that I don't have to show them that. I'll do it later. And that's the unfortunate part, is that, sometimes what we feel inside doesn't match our actions. And that's where you get caught up, right? It's like, you may in your heart feel like I was the love of your life, but it wasn't, because your actions didn't show that. Like I told you before, like when there's things that I want to do, it's inside and you'll see it on the outside. So I may be lying to myself to say that's the love of my life. Yeah. But if I'm not showing it, it's not the love of my life.
Match your words.
Your action is really your marker, not what you say, not what you feel. Because the thing is, people can really love their children and never take care of them. So you may love your child internally, that's fine. But love is an action. So if you don't take care of them, you don't. That kind of procrastination costs.
Big time.
Unfortunately, you don't have more time. Time's running out. Sorry.
And when you don't show up to whoever that person is in your life, whether it be sister, child, partner, spouse, whatever, and you procrastinate, or you don't, you're like Shay said, your action doesn't match what you feel on the inside or match your words, then there's consequences to that, right? And then sometimes, as much as we think that there is more time, sometimes time runs out and you don't get the opportunity to hit the reset button. You don't get the opportunity to fix what has been broken. You don't get the opportunity to simply say the words that you intended to say by thinking that there's more time. That's deep.
Yeah, and you don't get that grace.
Well, tippers, I don't think we can tell you anything more than that. But if you have something to share, we always want to hear from you. I would like this to be a type of relationship where it kind of goes both ways, where we are communicating to each other. So, Shay and I love being around, being behind the mic, and I know our schedules get so crazy, and we're so sorry when we have to not deliver and give you those episodes on those dates that we usually do, but it's our favorite thing to do. But another thing that we know we love to do is to hear from you. So continue to give us that feedback.
They've been talking.
You can hit us up on a gram at Tipping the Scales, or on our personal handles at Tania L. Rivers or at LaShayla. Like, come check us out and continue to give us that awesome feedback. We love it.
Yeah, thanks. I see all your
thanks,
comments,
guys.
so we appreciate
you. And please continue to follow Tipping the Scales wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, bye.